Last week, we talked about how we created a live stream build video that got 12,000 views on a channel with 400 subscribers. By the way, we're at 18,000 now. It's still going up linearly. And in it, we talked about some of the ways, and inside the video itself, we talked about some of the ways that we got the entire thing set up using Ecamm, using your M5 MacBook Pro, using your DJI Osmos, and then using something that lets us control things remotely. Which gets us to this question here from Roberto Lopez 606X, who says, what do you use to control remotely? Neutrally, you're not in the studio right now, and yet you're running our show remotely. What are you using in order to make this work?
That's correct. I'm not in studio. I'm using TeamViewer.
Yeah, and actually, TeamViewer has been awesome for us. I think that it was originally your idea, and actually, you've run shows using TeamViewer for a long time now, which is kind of amazing. Gives you kind of the latency.
Setup, we been using this hybrid setup since COVID, because that's ultimately why we had to figure out how to work together still, because of the government mandate and all of that.
Yeah, we had a Saturday morning show, I believe, at the time, and Neutrally would come into the studio and would run the production inside the studio. And so to keep things going, in fact, I was like, this is an important time to keep going.
Yes.
We figured out this remote function, which we thought was going to be temporary.
Yes.
I mean, even at the time, we thought it was going to be like 3 months or what. I don't even know what we were thinking. It was just like, this won't go on forever. We work more remotely than we do in person. And when he went to college, again, working remotely, running everything in this studio
so
now
seamlessly.
Yeah, right now we're using OBSBOTs. Shout out to OBSBOTs for sending these sick cameras. Those are PTZ function, so he can change the angles, he can zoom in and out, all remotely, like you're seeing right now, and that's all cool. And because we got good at this, when I say he got good at this, I just show up on camera. He's controlling my live streams in my kitchen. And my wife loves this, because as much as we love Neutrally and we appreciate the whole team, it's nice just to have our kitchen to ourselves, because it's ultimately our home and not a production studio. So he can still be there and have a presence and control it. On top of it, control my DJI Osmo Pocket 3s. And also what you just saw him do with the PTZ cameras here, he can do that with this.
And the crazy thing about that too is that you're able to then mask kind of it moving by having like a wide angle, right? And that lets you make it look like you have like 10 to 50, as many angles as you want in your kitchen by strategically placing the camera.
Which most people aren't going to have a clue what you're even talking about. Basically, I have two cameras, two DJI Osmo Pocket 3s right now. But when you watch my live stream, it looks like there's 10 cameras because he has so many different angles. What he's doing is, I have one camera, we call it the A camera. That's always the wide shot. And then we have the second DJI Osmo Pocket 3 that's preset to oftentimes 5 different angles. And when he's switching the angle on that, we call it the B camera, he goes to the A camera, shows that, and in the background, he's moving this angle to the next part, the cutting board, or the next part, the cooking on the stove, or the ingredients on the counter. And it looks like it's a whole nother camera, when really it's just this one acting as 5 different angles. And he's doing that 100% remotely, not inside my thing. Because I used to do these live streams, and I sometimes have 3 people in my kitchen. And so when my wife's like, she lost her home, okay? And now, not only do I have no one in my house.
Sorry, Judy.
Yeah. I also have the whole production happening in a condensed setup, which is just a laptop and 2 of these Pocket 3s. And that's what Austin is talking about. And we did a video on it, which is doing really well and still getting views.
It's still getting views. Yeah. I mean, the amazing thing to me, right, like Benji describes there, is that this is happening. Neutrally, who's actually running the show, is doing it from miles away, right? That's the crazy part. 100% remote. And the way that is so powerful for this is that he's able to control those cameras individually, even though he's remote. So that way you don't even need a camera operator in the kitchen. That's the thing that maybe would have always been something that you needed in the past in order to get those. I mean, either you'll need 5 to 10 cameras, or you'll need someone moving around. Now you don't need either of those things. And that's only possible because of our show sponsor, which is Ecamm Live. Because when you plug in those PTZ functions, you actually get the ability to control them with little joysticks buy software on the screen using TeamViewer. And so it's just a perfect setup. If you're interested in learning more, let us know, and we'll try and create a video for that as well.
Ecamm is the GOAT.
It is the
And I
GOAT.
just wanted to harp on one thing you guys were mentioning, how like the limitations we had with our old setup is with the Roland had limited input. So if we have 10 angles, we would have to have 10 different static cameras. With the PTZ functions, with the Osmos, like Benji said, it's 2 cameras, but 10 angles.
It's just ridiculous. And honestly, it's totally revolutionized the way that we've run any show, because we've been live way more this year than, honestly, maybe more than you've ever been before, I imagine. I can't even imagine anything else that's close to this.
Well, and then we just talking about the 2 different cameras. We do technically have a third angle that we use, which is my phone using the Rode NDI app that connects literally right away. And I have a mobile function, which again used to be another $5,000 camera with like a $2,000 wireless remote receiver kind of thing. It was huge, and someone else had to hold it because I couldn't hold it, especially while I'm doing stuff. But this is so light, I can use like a simple tripod and have a angle like another camera that brings me out to the backyard. We just did it with my taco live stream. It's crazy. And we're using the audio off my phone for when I'm outside, but it's kind of, we just did a really good video, but we didn't even talk about that angle. And so I think we could do even more in depth of like the possibility. Like, you know what? Like everything possible with Ecamm.
Seriously.
And just, it gets kind of ridiculous because the reason we have such a small setup, I need it to be easy for me to set up at any time, and Nucci jumps on and runs it. We add the third camera almost like hesitantly because we know it's another thing that he has to think about, but it's so easy. We oftentimes use it most like half the time I'm streaming, you know?